Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 Japanese heavy cruiser, or super cruiser if you will, the Yoshino. We are playing on the map Sea of Fortune, and it is a fully Tier 10 battle, I believe, or at least almost everything seems to be almost Tier 10. I spawned more on the eastern side, but roughly in the middle, and started heading more towards the eastern side because it seemed that my team would need some help over there. Unfortunately, it seems that my team decided that the eastern side is unimportant, and apparently everybody actually sailed away, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position because now I have to turn around and disengage again. It's a bit unfortunate, because usually you want to go for every cap, just in case the enemy doesn't go heavily for something, so you can get an opportunity, but I guess in this case we kinda gave up on the sea cap. I am far away though, so it's kinda okay. The CV attacks me. Well, we shot down 2 planes. I am gonna take at least one of these torpedoes, there's no way to avoid that. Maybe if I had been more careful with my positioning, it wouldn't be as problematic, but I think taking this torpedo probably makes more sense. Because chances are that if you try to dodge too much, one of those battleships might take a salvo, and at that point, you might take a lot more damage than just this one torpedo that did like 3000 damage or something. Besides, it's okay. I mean, we shot down 5 of those planes, so it's pretty decent actually in terms of a trade. The MVR just can't follow up with torpedo bombers somewhere else, because chances are she's not gonna come over here again, right? Because I'm kinda far away. Look at our gearing. A much better target, considering how much closer she is. Oh wow, our midway actually took out their gearing. I'm gonna try a blind salvo on the DD and the sea cap, because if we can delay it, that's pretty good. I also have 20-kilometer torpedoes, so me being on this kind of a, I guess you could call it a rough flank, is pretty decent, because I get to drop these torpedoes that they're not hard to dodge, but they're unpredictable, because you never know whether she even fired them. Oh, the CV is back again. Dang it! And with torpedo bombers, no less. Okay, I'm gonna take at least another torpedo here, but again, it's gonna only be one. It did less than 4000 damage this time, and in return we're gonna shoot down 4 planes. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I mean, this isn't actually too bad. Well, actually, I guess I shot down 1 extra somewhere. Maybe I did shoot down 5. But I mean, if the CV just keeps attacking like this, it's not that big of a deal. My worry is that it's an MVR, and at some point she's gonna realize that, hey, I have this really cool plane called Dive Bomber, and comes with that one. That'll be a much bigger problem. Oh wow, 9000 damage exactly on that Montana. But I'll just keep shelling from far away, drop my torpedoes. Wow, the Richthofen's actually back with the AP rocket planes. That's actually surprising, because AP rockets aren't, in my opinion, very good. I mean, they're still good planes, obviously, they're a good way to deal damage, but when it comes to striking a ship like Yoshino, especially one that's far away from your team, I think AP rockets aren't very good, because they can just, well, dodge. And when I say dodge, I don't actually mean that you take 0 damage, I mean you just take less damage. All you have to do is either turn into or away from the— oh, we spotted the Shimakas over there. Okay, hello Shima. I guess I'll just launch torpedoes in roughly the Shima's direction. She might very well just run into them. But yeah, the CV is coming in, but again, I foresaw that and had already started turning. For a little bit there I was worried, because I was actually showing broadside to the planes, because of the torpedoes that were coming from one of the Shimas. But then it ended up going fine. And I mean, that drop didn't do much, did it? I'm just worried that maybe Shima's torpedoes randomly arrive, so I'm just gonna turn away. I'm just gonna keep my distance, because that is the safest thing you can do against torpedo destroyers. And well, actually everything else too, but particularly torpedo destroyers. Even Montana's firing at me now. Wow, They really don't seem to like me much. But that did 1000 damage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna deal more in return. So, position-wise, the match is looking actually really good for us. I mean, we hold the big cat. There is a chance that a Worcester might be able to block it for a little bit, but it's unlikely that the enemy could take it. They are in no real position to be able to do a counter push here. We have properly spread out here. There's a chance that over time the enemy might wrap around on the northern side. You know, they have a Hindenburg Thunderer, potentially a Stalingrad there, whereas we have a Halland Thunderer and maybe a Göring that's already leaving. Oh wow, the CV attacked me again! The CV seems to really like me this game, and I'm really glad that he's not using his AP9 bombers. I would have lost a lot more HP by this point if she had. So, I mean, I guess thank you to the CV, to some extent. I am slightly worried though, because if I get too close to those battleships, they are definitely gonna focus on me. And again, there's a Shimakaze somewhere over there. And we never know when she might launch torpedoes. Yeah, that Montana definitely lost the trade. Oh, that GK is pushing. I mean, they kinda have to, but still. It's surprising that he's gonna push alone like that. He's definitely gonna die, and I don't think he's gonna live for a whole minute from now even. Because he's pushing into a lot of ships. I mean, that's a Petropavlovsk, Minotaur, Harugumo, Yamato, potentially Thunderer, and, well, me. She's gonna have a real rough... Oh no, she actually decided not to push. Still, might be a bit too late though. 35k HP on the Kofast. She might get away, but I think it's quite unlikely. 26k. Oh, the Thunder actually took out the Hindenburg in the north. The one that pushed. I guess their Thunderer didn't really back up the Hindenburg. So yeah, I think this game's kinda in the bag. Don't see that the enemy is likely to come back here. I think what helped, like, it didn't really like win us the game, obviously the positioning did, but I think what helped is that the CV attacked me and was really ineffective, right? Because effectively the enemy team hasn't had a CV for like more than half of the game, because he kept attacking me and did like 15,000 damage total, or probably even less than that, over many attacks. I mean, I had 26 planes shot down in a Yoshino. Anyway, GK is gone. I guess technically he did survive for longer. Ooh, CV's coming in again, so I'm gonna turn... Oh my god, this is bad. Okay, now this might actually go poorly for me, because now I can't really avoid the CV strike, because I have to angle against that Petropavlovsk. So this is gonna hurt. Okay, maybe not. I mean, it hurt, but 7,000 damage from a CV strike? Yeah, sure, I'll take it. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, think of what a lot of players would have done in this situation. They would have turned to avoid the CV strike, or to angle against it, and then the Petropavlovsk pops up around the corner and just deletes them. So, you know, you kind of have to make priorities in these kind of situations. Sure, you'll take damage, but that's kind of what the enemy does, right? I hear this as a complaint quite often, that a CV strikes you when you're, you know, being engaged by another ship, and that makes you unable to avoid the CV strike, but isn't that how it's supposed to work? I mean, the enemy has teamwork. Surprise, surprise. That kind of, you know, that's supposed to work that way. Now what's gonna happen now? Now that's gonna be bullshit, because I'm gonna take a lot of damage here. And there's very little I can do to mitigate that. Oh! You know what? All things considered, taking 9,000 damage from the CV strike like this isn't actually the end of the world. Petra's coming around the island. I'm gonna just launch some torpedoes, maybe we'll get lucky. And I'm gonna turn in towards her. This will do two things. It'll help me, you know, angle against the CV and angle against the Petra. Ooh, hello, Citadel. Now, there is actually one threat that you might or might not have noticed to my ship. That is that the enemy has a Yoshino as well. It's very close to the CV on the minimap. And that guy has fired at me a few times. when I end up fighting this Petra at close range, by the way, at that guy, I am probably going to suffer quite a lot here. In fact, I'll probably even die, because it's going to be very difficult to be able to angle against both a Petra and the Yoshino over there. So I'm gonna have to show broadside to one of them, and they're probably gonna kill me. Ooh, maybe we can get lucky with some torpedoes on the CV? I mean, it's unlikely, but you never know, right? You have to take every shot. And that's the game over for me. Yeah, I mean, I did get greedy here. There's really no need to push when it comes to winning the game. But I think the game was so much in the bag that being greedy here was completely okay. Because the enemy basically did the strategy of, hey, we're going to ignore caps and lose the game. And they ignored the caps and they are going to lose the game. But it's fine, we shot down 40 planes. It did make me sad as I played it, but 40 planes in a Yoshino. 70k AA damage, 109k damage. Actually, I'm pretty sure my damage amount is gonna increase in a little bit. That CV seemed to be rather immobile. And these torpedoes are definitely on the right path. Well? Oh no! No! Oh, yes, yes! Yes! We got the CV! With 20km torpedoes. See? 20km torpedoes are OP. Please don't nerf them, because otherwise Yoshino will be really sad. But we're at 930 points, 50 seconds until... Never mind, the game's over, because that Montana died as well. And the enemy has no chance. Sure, you might have full HP Yoshino, and that Petra might have a lot of HP, but... you've lost the game. Probably the reason why you have so much HP is because you didn't quite do enough. That's not to say that it's your fault that you lose, but... there are ways to trade HP for a greater advantage in the game. Anyways, 121k damage, not the greatest, but we shot down 40 planes in a Yoshino. I would say that's pretty good. 2100 base XP. Yeah, this was a great game. I'm glad the CV only realized what AP dive bombers do at the end of the game. And that kinda saved my bacon, I think. 18,000 from the torpedoes? I mean, look at that, right? The torpedoes and the rocket planes, which did many strikes, added, you know, they only did twice as much damage as one bomb from the AP dive bombers. If he had struck me with AP dive bombers, I would have died like 5 minutes earlier or something. But luckily he didn't. This was, yeah, I really wanted to share this game just because, you know, sometimes you'll have games where you get focused by the CV, and I wanted to give you guys an example of, you know, when things go pretty decently for you. So I use my battleship captain on the Yoshino, priority target, expert marksman, superintendent, concealment expert, adrenaline rush, fire prevention, and basics of survivability. Upgrades wise, it's also almost the same as a battleship. Main battery reload, not range, although you could go for the range, but I think 21 kilometers is good enough. Concealment, then propulsion, then the aiming systems modification, then damage control, and last main arms modification 1, and obviously I use 20km torpedoes. You know, in the second slot I probably should have used Hydro there, but hey, it is what it is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.